Sonic the Hedgehog has a bit of a checkered history when it comes to the quality of his games. 3D? No. I'm referring to his 2D history. But I suppose 3D could follow suit. Most people don't realize Sonic actually has bad 2D games until someone reminds them that the Game Gear exists. No, I'm not talking about those yet, but they are coming. Luckily, I'm talking about one of the 2D games people actually do remember very fondly. One of the good ones, I hear. Based on the idea of speedrunning the original Super Mario Bros., Sonic was created with speed in mind. Super fast, super Sonic. This is the Sega Genesis original game, and I've played it plenty of times in my childhood, despite only owning a Sega Genesis rather recently. That being said, I didn't play the original game this time around, rather a port on this mini Genesis. Yeah. Still happy to have this original Genesis from friends though. Thanks guys. I'll plug their content if they start doing stuff on YouTube or Twitch, but most of my time with this are going to be ports. There are some good ones and some terrible ones, but the ones used in this run is probably one of the best ports I've played of the original Sonic. I played with the Genesis controller, which is also nice. I played this game many times, but shockingly I've only beat this game twice. Once for this review, and once testing out my Elgato, oddly enough. There was a big reason I wasn't able to beat the game before, but I'll get to that flooded rat later on down the road. In the meanwhile, I am facing against Robotnik. Well, his Japanese name is actually Dr. Eggman. They changed the name here in the States to Dr. Robotnik. Both are fine, but the English games are even calling him Eggman to this day, so, I guess he's known as Eggman now. Well, I guess that settles it. Let's destroy his robot army, break the Eggmobile, and let's take on Dr. Eggman! So, Dr. Eggman is trapping little woodland creatures and robots to power his machines. I'm assuming they're running on hamster technology. Meanwhile, this cartoon anthropomorphic hedgehog says, "That's no good," and runs in to stop him. There are also weird gems. Dr. Eggman wants them, and I guess that's no good. So, grab those two. That's pretty much it. There really isn't anything behind the curtain. Wait a minute. Sonic the Hedgehog is blue and working to save the environment. And Dr. Eggman is red and an industrialist, right? Wait a minute, could it be? Sonic was created by the Japanese as an effort to help the Democrats. Of course, Dr. Eggman is the villain to trick kids into thinking Republicans are evil, who just want to take over the entire world with robots. Bum, bum, bum. Of course, Sonic's attitude and music was based on Bill Clinton, and Eggman was based on Theodore Roosevelt, but in PJs originally. Is this why Oil Ocean is a zone in 1992? To show people the danger of the Bush administration? You know, originally this skit actually started as a joke, but after some research, it's actually pretty accurate to the character designs, and the timing is pretty close to a main election. Bill won, by the way. Given all the triangles in the game, maybe the Illuminati hired Japan to help Bill win the next election by releasing two main Sonic games that kind of show this whole thing going down? Yeah, okay, now it's funny. Hate to get too serious in a review for a Sonic game. Honestly though, I do like how Sonic isn't just saving some princess. He is trying to save small animals as well as the world from a mad scientist who has a doctrine in robotics. Never see a wily villain do that before, especially fighting a blue protagonist. Super original, mega concept. Okay, I'll stop. Overall though, I do like the story. Short and simple for the kids, but it isn't too awfully bad. So, there's a running joke that the music in Sonic is easily the best part of all the games. While this is definitely true for some of the later entries, this may not be the case in some of the earlier games. Not that the music isn't good. Hell, Marbozone's theme gets stuck in my head all the damn time. The music is downright iconic in this game. So, you know, Sega, Where the hell's my Sonic Dance Dance Revolution? Mario has one, come on! But honestly, the music may be the best thing, but I'd argue it's on par with the visuals. I may be a sucker for 16-bit visuals, but this game looks amazing. The background scrolling slower than the foreground, giving depth in the visuals. Impressive. The backdrops also look incredibly well. Not to throw my boy Mario under the bus, but Sonic's world and animations look miles better than Super Mario World did on the Super Nintendo. I know, technically Super Mario World came out a year before, but to us US kids, it actually came out afterwards. I can see why Sonic really gave Mario a run for his rings. Coins? Never mind. Even Sonic's movement animations are great, giving Sonic a really good 90s attitude. Or maybe Sonic developed the 90s attitude. Yeah. Not bad, Sega. Not bad at all. What's even better than the animations is Sonic himself. Gameplay-wise, that is. Sonic plays very simply. You run, jump, and can duck. What isn't simple is how Sonic moves. See, the game is based heavily on Sonic's movements and how rewarding it is to move fast as well as explore. Sonic is really fast, like really fast. It is super easy to lose yourself in speed. But if you don't know when to react, you can get lost in many other different traps, not just the speed. If you find yourself around bad robot enemies, you can duck while moving to curl into a spiky ball and attack, or just jump because you also roll into a ball when you jump. As long as the enemy isn't spiked, you can hit an enemy anywhere and hurt them. It is up to you to dodge enemy shots from them and spikes that they may have. As long as you hit a part without spikes, you should be fine. The best part is how the physics engine at work in the game's coding. If you duck on a hill, you will roll down the hill, gaining speed as you go. If you run up a ramp and back down, you should be able to gain speed like this too. You can also use super springs to bounce upward or sideways to gain even more speed. Some platforms will require you get good at building up speed to cross them. This is the fun challenge of Sonic. You have a lot more consideration when you're moving around. This makes the gameplay very intuitive and incredibly fun. There is a ton of depth in the gameplay. I could gush for hours on it. Yes, super fun, but there is a but coming up. No, it isn't mine. I'm talking about words. Perv. No, I'm actually talking about the levels. 3 of them are really good. Green Hills, Spring Yard, and Starlight are 3 amazing levels. They use the physics of the game in highly different ways, adding different challenges to work with. These are about speed and enhance the gameplay. A perfect complement. Now, the other 3 stages are just horseshit. Okay, maybe not that bad, but they're pretty bad. Marble Zone is slow, cramped platforming. Brain Scratch is full of nearly every enemy and tons of traps. But the worst is Labyrinth Zone. I hate this level. I personally cannot swim, so that already adds some panic with me personally. This level is slow like the other 2 levels I just mentioned, mostly underwater, so drowning is an issue, and actually has some traps that are difficult to see due to mostly being off screen. This level is easily the worst part of the game and the most difficult level in the game itself. This level alone took me 20 minutes to get through while only dying a few times towards the end of the zone while dealing with Eggman. Yeah, Eggman is the boss fight for each zone. He shows up in his Eggmobile vehicle and attacks with some weapon. He's actually piss easy most of the time. Not bad, just underwhelming. However, in Labyrinth Zone, he just runs from you in the hardest area of the level. Yay? What's worse is in Brain Scratch Zone, he just sends you to another Labyrinth Zone inspired area instead of actually fighting you. What an ass! Is it the place wasn't bad enough? The final boss fight is kind of cool though. It is Dr. Eggman again, but you are in some type of engine. He has pistons attacking you, an easy to dodge laser, but you also have no rings, so one hit is pretty much death. And he is in random piston, so dodging and guessing which piston he's going to be in, it sounds terrible on paper, I know, but it's actually really fun. Weird. Well, the levels are about 50-50, as half of them are fantastic and half of them are terrible. Is there any reason to play the game a second time through? The answer is, kind of. There are Chaos Emeralds to collect. You can enter a bonus zone if you end a stage that isn't the third act and you happen to have 50 rings. Jump into the big ring at the end and bam! Acid trip. This gives you a chance to collect a Chaos Emerald. These stages are difficult to navigate as there are fake exits you can be shot into without any control from you, unfortunately. Must be a cool reward for the Chaos Emeralds, right? Hell no. You can beat the game and see Eggman juggling the ones you didn't collect or see him crying. Wow. Better thing to do is to collect rings in the special zones for lives and continues. You can get a lot of rings and lives from exploring the levels too. Upper zones have more goodies, but are more challenging platforming-wise. These are fun rewards that are helpful for your current run, for sure. However, overall, if you are good enough at the game, even they don't do much. Exploration is fun, but that's about it. Also, there's only 6 Chaos Emeralds, yeah. When they add a 7th to the next game, that's when there's more of a reason to collect them, which is why I'm giving the game slight grief here. Sadly, Sonic 2 made Chaos Emeralds way better, because in that game you collect them and you get Super Sonic. Yeah, Super Sonic's not in this game. Oops. Fun to collect them, but that's about it. They don't really serve much purpose, unfortunately. Honestly, I do like the original plot as much as it borrows from other things. I love the presentation and animation. The music is great and the gameplay is super fun. However, only half the levels really complement the gameplay. Sonic doesn't do well in slow or tight level designs, and half the levels are unfortunately like this. The other half are super fun though. Exploring is pretty fun, but outside of extra lives it isn't worth much. Even collecting the Chaos Emeralds doesn't do much overall. And speaking of overall, I'd say the game is good. Honestly, it was probably great until Sonic 2 came around. I'd still give it a solid 7 out of 10. Even after all these years. Not bad. Not a bad start, but the next game I'll be covering may not fare as well. What? No, it isn't a 3D Sonic game. And it's not Sonic 2 either. I'll be heading to the Game Gear. Okay, really, I'll be hitting something even more obscure, the Sega Master System port of Sonic the Hedgehog on the Wii U. So much for competing with Mario, right? I have a few reviews to do until then, however. Until next time, my minions, take care!